School of Accounting with scholarships available and 100% job placement after graduation. There's never been a better time to advance your accounting career. Visit apu.edu today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Memphis guard Dylan "The Villain" Brooks will be on the court tonight for Game 4 against the Lakers. The NBA decided not to suspend him for his low blow to LeBron Saturday night in Game 3. Brooks was ejected and given a flagrant foul too. League officials determined the low blow was not egregious enough to warrant a suspension. The drama between LeBron and Brooks will continue tonight. Brooks started this mess after Game 2 in Memphis when he called LeBron old. In case you missed it Saturday night, LeBron walked up to Brooks during pregame warm-ups and had a brief conversation with him that lasted only a few seconds. Brooks said the only thing LeBron talked to him about was his birth date. LeBron was born December 30th, 1984. Their interaction tonight between these two should be interesting. Tip-off at 7 on TNT. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, yo, don't let nobody else up in this booth.
Excuse me. Now that I have your attention, may I ask you this question? What image comes to mind when you hear the word homeless? Do you believe it to be solely a big city urban problem? A problem that only affects cities like Los Angeles and New York that have been inundated with panhandlers and tent encampments? What causes one to become houseless? And what strategies should be implemented to assist in helping people achieve and maintain housing stability? And do you believe having access to affordable housing should be a right in this country? Well, you've come to the right place. You're listening to LA's all-new progressive talk radio station of the people, by the people, for the people. It's KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got you covered around the clock. Racism?
We don't hate white people, we hate the oppressor, whether he be white, black, brown, or yellow.
We got you. Miseducation? We got you. Gun violence? We have you covered.
If you're afraid of socialism, you're afraid of yourself.
A black-owned and operated, evidence-based alternative radio station for progressive, open-minded people like you and me. Welcome home, LA. We're all in this together. It's KBLA Talk 1580, broadcasting from the heart of LA's Leimert Park. We've got a lot to talk about.
You can't do it unless you believe that you can do it. You ready?
Excuse me. Now that I have your attention, may I ask you this question? Why do you believe police brutality continues to exist in this country? Do you believe it to be a systemic problem, or should we judge police misconduct on a case-by-case basis? And what's your opinion on the best course of action to solve the problem? Well, you have come to the right place. You're listening to LA's all-new progressive talk radio station. Of the people, by the people, for the people.
Hey, I sure appreciate that.
It's KBLA Talk 1580. And we got you covered round the clock. Racism, we got you. Progressive politics, we got you. Health and wellness education, we have you covered.
We're going to have to put it back in the hands of the people.
A black-owned and operated, evidence-based alternative radio station for progressive, open-minded people like you and me.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Welcome home, LA. We're all in this together.
Let's get it on.
It's KBLA Talk 1580, broadcasting from the heart of LA's Leimert Park. We've got a lot to talk about.
We are going to have to fight. We're going to have to struggle. We're going to have to struggle relentlessly to bring about some peace.
Access granted.
In a survey conducted by the public opinion research firm Eviderus, KBLA Talk 1580 consistently emerged as the station of choice for black audiences in the Los Angeles media market and beyond. The survey also revealed that the vast majority of black audiences are concerned about the lack of black-owned media and are more likely to listen to talk radio that focuses on issues that impact the black community. For some reason, the other talk stations haven't quite figured that out.
If you think about KFI, well, KFI only has like a 3% black listenership. 3%. So there's a good 97% out there to support a station like KBLA.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
21, old life has just begun. Got a temper like a gun, pointing it to everyone. That's his game, and it helps him to get through the day. But a voice inside him says, how much longer can I play? He's got infinite possibilities, I can see them now. It's the unbroken chains of his past by which he's bound. He's
It's time to set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
Saharah Ali, as you know, KBLA delegation, is a yoga teacher, a meditation instructor, a sound bath expert, a life coach, and so much more. Find out more at SaharahAli.com. Good morning.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning, KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Monday, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions, honoring our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation. And as we talk about everything in life here on Mindful Monday with Dominique, it's important that we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with our faith, truth, wisdom, and power. It's Taurus season with Mercury retrograde in Taurus, May 17th, wobbling out until May 23rd. So it started last week, but it's intense. So, Mercury retrograde's call to action is to review, rethink, reevaluate, and reframe everything. We benefit by backing up our computers, our phones, and anything relying on technology. The gift of Mercury retrograde is rebirthing, bringing light to any and all things out of alignment with our highest good. Mercury retrograde usually gets a bad name, but it's not a bad thing. It's a gift. It's a gift to heal and strengthen suppressed emotions, negative memories. It aids in emotional freedom, bringing clarity, and most of all, opening the space to revisit, to rethink, to review, to reevaluate, to set new boundaries, to release limitations, and to become more responsible and disciplined and checking authority, and most of all, bringing karmic balance, both bad and good. Mercury retrograde in Taurus, however, blends our past, our present, and our future into one, shifting our focus from external to internal, from material to spiritual, empowering us to move forward, recognizing our priorities, motivating change, initiating happiness to bring about fulfillment. We have a chance to reboot ourselves, creating new pathways. And our call to action is to focus our minds, our bodies, and our spirits to walk in faith, knowing with God all things is possible. And going forward with our Mindful Monday meditation, pause for a moment, and just kind of really think about, we have Mercury retrograde like 4 or 5 times a year. And this time in Taurus, it's really about looking deep in our hearts. It's about listening to our souls. It's about calling forward the fact that we question ourselves. Are we living our best lives? There's been a lot going on in the world. We've seen a lot. We've gone through a lot. And so now we're in this place of reflection to rethink how we are going to move forward. So take a breath and exhale. Choose to embrace your soul's power. Choose to engage in wisdom, trusting the Most High. Now inhale, knowing we stand on the edge of great change with personal empowerment and empowerment as a whole as we take our power back. Exhale, release whatever fears are holding you back from your happiness, from your joy, from pleasure. Inhale, mindfully be present in this moment, ready to take action, ready to be a part of the change that you'd like to see in your life. Exhale, setting intentions to engage in acceptance, to engage in dynamics that yield fulfillment. Inhale, gratitude. Inhale your gratitude, focusing on strength and blessings. Exhale, ready to embrace divine guidance, knowing that we don't walk alone, that our ancestors are with us. And as we review and maybe revisit some painful dynamics, embrace divine guidance. Inhale with confidence. Be bold, be ready to reshape your life and to be here and now in this moment with your breath, opening yourself to the opportunity to reframe. Now exhale, feel your angels gracing you. Feel your angels' love all around you. Feel your angels bringing clarity to support you being in the winner's circle. Exhale, accepting wholeness, accepting your greatness, accepting being bold and ready to not back down. Exhale and relax. Just relax your breath, relax your mind, relax your body. Be here now. Open to review. Open to reevaluate. Open to celebrate your life and your wholeness. Calm your mind, calm your body. Open this space to willingly stand unapologetically in your power with love, ready to honor change from seen and unseen places, and not be afraid of Mercury retrograde, allowing you to review and reevaluate. Relax, taking the biggest breath you've had all morning. Hold that breath. Close your eyes. And as you exhale, now listen with your soul. Listen with your soul to our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Continue to breathe, continue to relax, and just listen. Today, I release all illusions, changing my mind to change my life, accepting divine right action, embracing my highest good. Today, I release all illusions, changing my mind to change my life, accepting divine right action, embracing my highest good. Today, be willing to change your mind, to change your life. Be willing to accept divine right action, to embrace your highest good. I thank you, Dominique. To have a smiling Miles in the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetic Mercury retrograde moment and a blessed week, and accepting divine right action.
You know, Saharah Ali, before you go, you said to me last time we spoke, or last time you did a Mindful Monday, that, Dominique hates Mercury retrograde. And I don't mean to say that. I've learned certainly from you that it's a great time to finish unfinished projects, clean out my closets, do some inner work, spiritual work, reconnect with old friends, old family, read a history book, review. What did you say? Review, revisit, reevaluate, all that stuff. I just am always mindful because I think I get frustrated when the car breaks down and the computer won't boot and my phone is, doing weird things and I'm getting the circle of death on my browser. And it's not that I don't like it. I just like to be mindful of it because I'm a person that's always playing chicken with the clock. And so if I need an extra hour, an extra half an hour to get from point A to point B, or if I need to just remind myself not to get grumpy, or that perhaps my loved one, relative is merely not understanding what I'm trying to say. It's not that they're, a devil spawn, as they appear to be in that moment. I think it's helpful for me to remind myself of these things so that it can be a little smoother.
Yeah, and this one is a little rough because, Taurus has to do with our material values, but it's also matters of the heart. And so we will probably see a lot of broken computers, a lot of broken cars, and maybe a few broken hearts. But it is about reframing the material to the spiritual, the internal and the external, and to come to a place where we have peace. You know, in this transition as we move forward, it's so important that we pause for a moment and that we do pace ourselves so that we are on purpose, so that we can really live out loud as opposed to being loud. You want to be conscious of how you're living loud. And also, it gives us an opportunity to reap karmic gifts as well as reap a karmic balance. So what you put out there comes back to you, seen and unseen. And when we have retrograde planets, it's an opportunity to see how you're living. Are you living foul or are you living great? Are you living where you need to check in with the Most High, or are you okay with the Most High? And so the gift of Mercury retrograde is not always daunting. It can be frustrating, but it is very much so a gift and an opportunity for us to be mindful, to go into that world behind our eyes and to reframe how we're willing to stand in the truth that we live by.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Yeah, and I just wanted to point that out because, I mean, certainly the gift of Mercury retrograde is something that you have made me more conscious of. And there are lots of things that are favored at this time, so we might as well, you know, flow with the flow instead of trying to swim upstream. Flow with the flow, clean out the closet. Don't buy that car yet. Saharah Ali can be reached at saharahali.com, SAHARAH, Ali.com, or you can call her assistant, 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783. Maybe you want to go a little deeper. You can do that, get an appointment, and go for it. Enjoy. You're going to find out a lot of things. Saharah Ali, as always, thank you.
And you know, Dominique, it's so funny because a lot of people judge this whole dynamic of celestial wisdom, Mercury retrograde, and all of that. But now Mercury retrograde is mainstream. The newscasters talk about it.
Do they really?
Other people talk about it. Yes. It's very present now. It is no longer a shadow.
I love that. Well, in the spirit of Mercury retrograde, our Swahili word of the week, Saharah Ali, is tarehe. Tarehe, it means history. Tarehe. Okay, let's do some tarehe, y'all. Habari gani, y'all know that from Kwanzaa. It means what's the news? Well, tarehe, history, that's the news. Habari gani, tarehe. I'm Dominique DiPrima. Yeah, we're your ancestors' favorite radio station. It's KBLA, Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Are you between 18 and 26 years old and trying to find out how you're supposed to make all this work? If you've said, I need a job and some transportation, rent, it's so high. Food too. There's childcare and I need to go back to school. I need to transform my life. Well, help is on the way. Transform Your Life Day is coming Saturday, April 29th at San Manuel Stadium. It's a shopping mall of free community services where you can talk with programs and even enroll right on the spot. It's free help for young adults to get you started on meaningful careers, finish up your diploma or your college degree. There's help with finding housing, transportation, food, and childcare. Plus, you get a free ticket to the 66ers game, free parking along with prizes. Get there early for free food. Reserve your free space today at ccc.ca.gov. That's ccc.ca.gov. ccc.ca.gov.
Congratulations to Grace Memorial Chapel and Funeral Home for being this week's winner of KBLA's Office of the Week. Your office won lunch for 10, delivered by the original Taco Pete. Congratulations to Grace Memorial Chapel and Funeral Home.
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
I got to do a better job of incorporating our Swahili words. We used to do Swahili word of the day in my old show. We're doing it once a week now just because can't keep up with all that. But look, some of you and me, we're going to South Africa in June. And those of you who are not actually getting on the plane will travel with us because we'll be broadcasting and sharing our trip with you. And these Swahili words are going to come in handy. Swahili is mostly known to be used in Eastern Africa, like Tanzania, Kenya, places like that. It is an amalgamation of various African languages along with some Arabic and other words, colonizer words mixed in. It is a language that connects various parts, various nations and ethnicities within Africa that have their own languages. Many, in many countries, there are dozens, even hundreds of ethnic languages that are spoken. So Swahili allows people from different ethnic communities to communicate with each other for business, for education, etc. So it comes in handy, and now it is being widely used in South Africa. So it will come in handy for our trip, and it's even a better reason for me to do a great job, a new and improved job incorporating words like tarehe, which I just learned for the first time. It means history, tarehe in Swahili. Our last week our word was pesa. That seems important, and it shouldn't be that hard to remember because it's kind of like peso. It means money, pesa, peso. If you were in Spanish, that'd be like, money, similar. Pesa. Look who's on my phone. It's Ronnie from the Orange County area. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Dominique. And I've been in Los Angeles. I'm sitting looking at John Mack Junior High right now. I'd like to see if I could take 30 seconds to talk to you and maybe talk you off the ledge about the homework point that the young brother brought up. And
I doubt that, but I'm willing to listen.
well, or at least maybe a parlay, and let me just dive right into it.
I got
all right.
you. Mm-hmm.
I developed a curriculum about 15 years ago and piloted it in Seattle based on the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Now, the gentleman was perfectly right about getting away from the agrarian side of education. Then we have to, of course, move homework away from that. So my point is, in my curriculum, I use Ijama, which is using the young people that are in junior college to work with the youth in the class, pilot program, to help offload the homework that is onto parents. But it's a contract with parent and student. And the homework is based, again, on year-round, similar to what you do in college on a curriculum. So with help and support, and the junior college student gets credit, Ujama, okay?
Cooperative economics.
There you go, young lady. Hey, so again, you'll tell me at the end of this, and I'm almost through, just need 10 seconds.
I'm not rushing you, Ronnie.
Parlay.
Yeah, I'm not rushing you.
You're right on. All righty. And so, again, the junior college student who works with 3 students and a contract with parent, and I'm not going to keep beating that point, but again, it helps us with the curriculum get away from the agrarian side of it. Now, the second part is huge, okay? It is the funding and making sure the funding stays at John Mack. So I love that brother's point where the funding and the bonus program stays with the school instead of getting into charter. And we could develop this pilot right out of a library so we're not disrupted in class to launch it out. But it stays with the school and not run to somebody's, those charter homes or charter schools.
Well, I mean, charter schools are public schools. We know that they're non-union.
Yeah, but they're taking the money and running.
Some are. Some aren't. Some aren't. The whole thing about the voucher system is that they're taking money out of the public system and putting it into the private system.
Right. And so we launched that and keep it there where we have to get an agreement, of course, with LAUSD that we're trying to have parents that live right here where I'm looking at John Mack at the elementary school up the street where I graduated, 36th Street School here, okay? Those dollars aren't marching out, okay?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Did I talk you at least off the ledge? Are you comfortable with that, Ujamaa, and having support and getting away from the agrarian?
I think it's funny because I don't see myself as being on the ledge. I think that I am talking about from experience about where we're going to be going once people figure out how we're really abusing our children right now. I do love your idea, though, of having college students play a role in this, not to usurp teachers or take away from their union in any way, but actually to kind of assist teachers and students. And, I've always thought it would be nice to have college students helping seniors as well. Like the seniors, I think it was Carl, started off talking about how many of our elders are living in poverty. Things like driving seniors that can't drive anymore or getting them to their appointments and such. Those would be great jobs for people who are in college, and at the same time would give seniors a chance to have more human interaction as they get older if they don't have family members checking on them. It's a similar thing. I love what you're talking about, bringing those folks that are in college who can act as role models, but also homework helpers or whatever with those students. That said, I still think we give too much homework. I think they should ban homework on the weekends unless it's a major project. Kids need mental space. They are not little robots. They should not be having longer work hours than their parents. That just doesn't even make sense.
Well, that's why, and that goes to our parlay, Dominique, then add to the curriculum of how you can use those college students based on that Ujamaa and the 7 principles, and that's how we develop a program for our community and not do street takeovers. Those young people that we're talking about that helping drive seniors, instead of doing street takeovers, now they've got a responsible job. They're working with our school students, and they're driving our seniors.
Right. Yeah, I love that. I mean, and, the principles of Kwanzaa, which are taken from many different African traditions and sort of brought into this one celebration, and also many would say based on the principles of Ma'at, all of those, I think, have a place in our education curriculum. I love that, Ronnie. Nia, which is purpose. All children and adults need that. Ujamaa, cooperative economics, and collective work and responsibility, certainly something we try to teach our children. Self-determination, Kuchijagalia, Umoja, unity, and then, of course, Imani, faith. I love that you're strategizing how to improve, and that's kind of what I was doing, even though it might sound like I'm on the ledge because I'm still a current mama of a public high school child who's trying to get through high school. And so, I might be in the fight, I might be in the corner swinging, but that said, I'm always trying to think of where are we going? What would be best for our children? What would be best for our nation in terms of creating prepared citizens and taking our country as industry, as innovators, as citizens of a governance system to the next level in a way that is progress-inducing, rather than going backward, which we tend to do. And I think this, the cyclical thing with schools, we want rote learning. No, we want project-based learning. No, we want rote learning. No, we want project-based learning. The adults are giving the children philosophical and educational whiplash because they can't make up their minds and stick to the data about what's actually best for kids. News, traffic, and sports, then your phone calls on KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. In Colorado, Denver mayoral candidates Mike Johnston and Kelly Brough are sharing plans to tackle issues facing the city's black community. Brough, a former Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce president, says public safety is her top priority.
I look today at the families who are victims of crime and struggling, trying to put the pieces of their life back together.
Brough and former Colorado State Senator Johnston answered questions from a panel of black community members Saturday. Jury selection is set to begin today in the trial for the man accused of killing 11 people at a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania synagogue in 2018. Prosecutors say Robert Bowers was armed with an assault rifle when he carried out that attack in October of that year. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Advance your career and earn a master's in accounting at Azusa Pacific University's Leung School of Accounting. With scholarships available and 100% job placement after graduation, there's never been a better time to advance your accounting career. Visit apu.edu today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Memphis guard Dylan "The Villain" Brooks will be on the court tonight for Game 4 against the Lakers. The NBA decided not to suspend him for his low blow to LeBron Saturday night in Game 3. Brooks was ejected and given a flagrant foul too. League officials determined the low blow was not egregious enough to warrant a suspension. The drama between LeBron and Brooks will continue tonight. Brooks started this mess after Game 2 in Memphis when he called LeBron old. In case you missed it Saturday night, LeBron walked up to Brooks during pregame warm-ups and had a brief conversation with him that lasted only a few seconds. Brooks said the only thing LeBron talked to him about was his birth date. LeBron was born December 30th, 1984. Their interaction tonight between these two should be interesting. Tip-off at 7 on TNT. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm young, gifted, and black. At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
Hey there, I'm Jared Hill, president of the National Association of Black Journalists of Los Angeles, and I just want to say thank you for the benevolent $10,000 donation and scholarships for the next generation of black journalists.
And I'm Haywood Galbraith, photojournalist and founder of the Minority Photojournalism Institute. Thanks, KBLA, for your generous $10,000 scholarship gift to help us train the next generation of black photojournalists.
Congratulations to all the students who will benefit from the scholarship dollars raised at our Black History Month luncheon, honoring black legends in LA media. When we come forward at KBLA Talk 1580, we're bringing everybody with us. Everybody with us. Everybody with us. Everybody with us.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. I was able to speak with Kate Luzio, former banking executive and now owner of Luminary, who partnered with Chase for this tour. She makes it her business to build community for business owners.
Yes, so I was a banker for 20 years before I decided to become an entrepreneur. 7 of those years were actually at JP Morgan Chase. One of the biggest things that I had going into my entrepreneurial journey was a big background in banking.
So what advice are you giving business owners looking for financial backing today?
So Chase brings in so much knowledge and the opportunity to understand what financial tools are out there for business owners to build, grow, and scale their business. A lot of business owners will say, well, I need to get a loan immediately. Well, you wouldn't just lend money to your friend if you didn't know why they needed it. I tell every business owner, you need a business plan, you need financial projections, you need a banker. Because you have to start building a relationship with a banker so that they get comfortable with how you're going to build that business and so that they can eventually support you in different ways.
Makes sense. So visit the Chase Community Center on Crenshaw and Vernon. Meet a banker today. Tell them about your business. I'm Aisha Cairo in the community for KBLA with JP Morgan Chase.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action is the youth component of the impactful CBO, known as the Community Coalition. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action has chapters at almost every South LA high school. Say Yeah, as they are popularly known, is located at 80th and Vermont, but serves young people all over South LA. Under the COCO umbrella, they train youth organizers, help underserved scholars prepare for college, and work with students to help them gain admission to top universities. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action fosters teen activism, where young people have led campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars to South LA schools and forcing officials to make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCEL scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll a student in South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, please visit cocsouthla.org. cocsouthla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
There's a lot going on, but let's hop on these phones. I'll update you on some of the very interesting, wild things happening on the national landscape when we come forward. Fahima from D.C. is on the line, though, so let's go there. Hello, good morning, Jumbo.
Habaragani and K Paso. Dominique, my sister, how are you today?
I'm well. How are you doing? What's on your mind?
Good. Well, I want to address and make two fundamental points. Okay, everyone has a different learning style, right? And if we make learning fun and enjoyable, it doesn't become an arduous task. In my classroom, I've been teaching for 20 years at an HBCU, and I understand and recognize people have different learning styles. I use film as text. I use popular education formats and structures. I also, for example, the hip-hop documentary, How Hip-Hop Changed the World, that was done on PBS. I used that this semester in one of my classes. When Henry Louis Gates did Black in Latin America, I used that. So you have to have different techniques, different formats that's compatible with people's learning styles, and it's then not considered an arduous task. That being said, because of the rote learning that we have in this country and the memorization, this is the reason why Americans are so far behind educationally. You know, the thing is that this is one of the reasons why, and I will have to credit the Obama administration for somewhat correcting that by pushing STEM and STEAM in the in the K-12, right? Education, because for the most part, unless you have an opportunity to go to some of these elite prep schools, historically, Black and brown children have been educated to the level to be the hewers of wood and the drawers of water. Now, I was tracked in the New York City public school, but if you didn't have a Regents diploma and you had a general diploma, all you needed was an 8th grade reading and math comprehensive to get a diploma in New York City, right? And that, again, is just preparing people to be the hewers of wood and the drawers of water. Now,
yeah, but I mean, but the difference between you're teaching college, and we were talking about elementary and high school, and I think there's a world of difference between what goes on both of those kinds of institutions.
Okay, I have a goddaughter. Both of her parents are engineers. They had this young lady in robotics, She participated in a lot of these summer camps where they learned tech and coding. She even took some classes that she wanted to take at community college. And when she entered college out here in California, she came in with advanced standing. I think if it's fun and it's interactive, it's not an arduous task.
Yeah, well, but still, I mean, you can say the same thing about work, but we still don't want to work 70 hours a week as adults. I love my job, but I value my weekends. I think that we are treating children like little future factory workers instead of actually, little potential innovators.
Okay, well, this is, okay, if you look at the Afrocentric curriculum, right, it is interactive and it's not like work. The kids enjoy participating. I taught at a couple of Afrocentric schools.
I loved school. I was a kid who loved school. I was one of them little goody two-shoe kids that did all their work until I got to college. But, I mean, the point is, it doesn't matter how fun it is. We have got to give kids balance. They need time to be kids, to stare out the window and twiddle their thumbs or even play video games. They need time to be kids.
Well, if you look at the Montessori model does do that. Well, I'm just going to say this. Because of the laissez-faire approach to education in this country, except for those that have the opportunity to go to elite prep schools and go to the African-centered schools, this is the reason why we are behind. I mean, they were giving people Einstein visas to come to this country because there were few people that had they didn't lack the aptitude, but they lacked the skill set to do many of these high-tech positions. And the reality is you got to do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do tomorrow.
I mean, I get all that. I get all that. I'm a mama who's surrounded by lots of, whatever you want to call them now, the academic arms race. My child did this and that. I've had my kid in elite institutions and I've had him in public school. And I'm just telling you, I think we kind of agree in some ways and disagree in others. Yeah, the innovation piece, the fact that a lot of teachers are just dependent on worksheets and, sort of mind-numbing busy work is part of the problem. Part of the problem is teaching to the test. But I also think it's overload. Kids, look, if I learn a whole bunch of new stuff, I need time to let it sink in. I need time to let my creative mind engage. And then I'll be back and I'll be fresh. And I just think this idea that, we can somehow beat our children into brilliance, it's just, I don't think it's correct. I don't think it's how the human brain or the human innovation works. I'm not saying let your kid be lazy or let the teachers be lazy. I'm not advocating for subpar. I'm saying we, the teachers, the parents, the adults in the room, have to be the innovators instead of just piling more and more work on our kids and saying, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you brilliant? We need to look at the problems, and they are major in the way that the teachers, parents, and institutions are educating kids. I think the pandemic made it glaringly obvious.
Okay, but Dominique, you're looking at the rote memorization format, teaching to the test and worksheets. I'm not talking about that.
I know, but I'm saying even under an innovative model, kids need time off. They need brain time. They need creative space out time.
Okay, let me say this, and then I'm going to go. When I was in graduate school, I taught at a school here in D.C., which was across the street from the Sidwell Friends School. That Sidwell Friends, all the president's kids, for the most part, go there.
Right.
I was the drama instructor. This school was located in a historic part of D.C., and, if you could get in through because most of the people that lived in this affluent community were sending their kids to the Georgetown Day School or sending them to Cathedral. So you had a lot of slots that were available for the regular general public. But I was the drama instructor, and we had fun. How many kids in the urban city and public schools have drama class? And I'm just saying that it can be fun. It doesn't have to be work. In fact, I sent you something about a young man who was using hip-hop to teach math.
Yeah,
Okay?
I mean, I think it not only can be fun, I think it should be fun. I still think they need time off.
It's not overload. If the curriculum is in keeping with the African-centered curriculum, one can be able to compete with those other countries because we're at the bottom.
I think we compete by increasing the creativity and decreasing the drudgery. I'm not saying I don't want rigor. I'm saying if we're all that and it's fun and engaging, then they should be able to learn it in the classroom and just do small affirmations, reminders as homework, not piles and piles and hours of drudgery and worksheets that are mind-numbing, that are more than we ask of adults who have 40-hour-a-week jobs. That's what I'm saying. I'm not arguing for less rigor. I'm arguing for more creativity and more onus on teachers and parents and less on the kids.
Okay, we agree, but some of that outside activity could mean going to the Air and Space Museum, some of those outside of the classroom assignments, because learning should not take place limited to the classroom. It could be going and traveling abroad, going to different museums. So I'm not talking about rote memorization, but I do feel that what's happening is our people are not being prepared. I think the Afrocentric curriculum is, and everybody can't go to an African-centered school, but what I've seen in terms of the approach, the children want to come to school. They enjoy it, and they enjoy doing homework assignments outside the classroom where they may go to a museum or they may go to hear an event at the library. But anyway, I'm going to let you go. But that's what I wanted to share.
I feel like when I talk to teachers, I should say the same thing I say to veterans, which is thank you for your service. I appreciate the call, Fahima. We've got, we're taking your phone calls. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I'm so excited. It is Black Marriage Monday. So we're going to talk relationships with Mr. and Mrs. Ma'at. They are both licensed marriage therapists that can help you whether you're in a marriage or relationship or just aspiring to one. That's next hour, but it's not too late to call me now, 800-920-1580. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Governor Newsom and advocates at impasse over funding for Black students. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by Lendistry. Story courtesy of CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. Mid-April, the Black in School Coalition met, and there were over 2,500 K-12 students, parents, and education advocates, plus civil rights leaders, marched to the California State Capitol to demand increased funding for Black students in the state's public schools. They were all calling on the governor and California legislature to not move forward with the equity multiplier in Newsom's education budget, which was made to substitute AB 2774, which would have granted funding for the state's lowest performing group, Black students. But advocates say Newsom's proposal falls short of that goal. All in all, the Black in School Coalition is calling for more support for Black students in California schools.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk, I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just one pill each morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn. With Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
KBLA Talk 1580 would like to thank all of the businesses that tune into KBLA at work. We celebrate you, your calls to the station, and your overall support. To show our appreciation, we would like to treat your office to a lunch for 10, brought to you by the original Taco Pete's. Open the KBLA Talk 1580 app or log on to KBLA1580.com to submit your office to be selected for our Office of the Week. We know you're just like our staff, putting in many hard, smart working hours per week. We just want to say thank you, and we appreciate you. You and your staff deserve lunch on us. Enter your office to win lunch for 10 and be highlighted on KBLA Talk 1580 as our Office of the Week. Open the KBLA app or log on to KBLA 1580 to enter your office today to become the KBLA Talk 1580 Office of the Week, sponsored by the original Taco Pete's, a black-owned restaurant. Become the KBLA Talk 1580 Office of the Week. This has been a KBLA Talk 1580 community call to action. Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, let's take a look at some of the things going on the national landscape, get you up to date. And of course, as always, you're welcome to comment or just chime in, argue. All that is good. 800-920-1580. So the Supreme Court decided that the drug called mifepristone is an abortion drug, one of two widely used for abortions, pregnancy terminations, would stay available while the matter goes through the courts. It's going to the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is reputedly quite conservative, so that should be interesting. That's on May 17th, and probably will work its way back to the Supreme Court. But they ordered it to remain available while the litigation plays out. And I think that is partly because they are under so much fire for their activism, their conservative activism, being out of touch and out of step with the country, and the fact that they've got an election to win for conservatives in 2024, and they don't want to give Democrats yet another winning issue because people are really angry about losing their control over their own bodies. And so we now have at least a temporary stay of things remaining the way they are for the moment, other than the damage that Roe v. Wade has already being overturned has already done on state-by-state levels. But certainly the dissent shows that at least Justice Alito and Justice Thomas were very much against that decision, meaning that they were perfectly happy to say, oh, we're going to leave this up to the states. And then the minute they had a chance to do a national ban, they were ready to pivot and change their tune. For those, I always tell you I don't follow sports like I used to, and one of my favorite was boxing. I did not get to see the Gervonta Davis fight because it was on pay-per-view and they won $84. I wasn't ready for that. Maybe I should have gone to a bar, Miles. I don't know. Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Of course, Davis won by knockout. I'm going to have to go back and find it as soon as it becomes available for the peasants to see in 7 rounds. And Davis remains undefeated. He says he is the face of the game. I got to see that fight. Anyway, it's interesting because boxing has, with the Ultimate Fighting Championships and all these other spectacles, boxing is not what it used to be in terms of popularity. And some folks said that Ryan Garcia, being young and being really popular media personality, and Gervonta Davis being Gervonta Davis, and his affiliation with the Floyd Mayweather camp, that this was reinvigorating the sport. So interested to know if you saw it or what you thought. Continuing the trend of people getting shot just for doing ordinary daily things. A Florida man shot at a car because 2 people driving the car went to the wrong address while trying to deliver Instacart. This trigger-happy situation, again, speaks to the mentality, a mentality that needs to be addressed, yes, with common sense legislation, but also with mentality. When we come forward, I'll tell you about the news on the former officer who fatally shot Breonna Taylor, and also there's news on the woman who shot Dante Wright. Both of those straight ahead on KBLA Talk 1580.
We may be LA's newest talk station, but when you're punching above your weight, it's not about whether you can throw a punch. Can you take a punch? We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. And we don't black down. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars, working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage, career-track jobs. The Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing around anti-discrimination, learn about union apprenticeship programs, or sign on to a trade registry, please visit www.lablackworkerscenter.org. That's lablackworkerscenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks to our new sponsor, Lendistry. Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered in Los Angeles. Lendistry helps small business owners access the affordable capital needed to grow. Visit Lendistry, LENDISTRY.com/KBLA today.
Here at NerdWallet, we often see people wrestle with financial decisions.
Mike is in the ring, up against his nemesis, indecision. Mike can't decide the best way to save his money, and indecision has him boxed in. But wait, Mike tagged in NerdWallet.
Whew, let's go. With NerdWallet's side-by-side comparisons, you can find a high-yield savings account with interest rates that earn more bank for your buck. So the next time you wrestle with a financial decision, you'll come out on top. NerdWallet, the smartest decision for all your financial decisions.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
And Jamie Foxx is reportedly doing better. He's been in the hospital with what they're saying is an undisclosed medical condition. Of course, there's plenty of rumors going around on the internets, but I will not repeat rumors here unless I have some means of verifying them. But he's said to be on the road to recovery. And I love the way comics and actors always pull together when someone gets in trouble or is sick, because Martin Lawrence and Nick Cannon and others, Steve Harvey wishing him well and sending out messages of support, which I love. Okay, so that the Louisville police officer, the Kentucky police officer who shot Breonna Taylor, has now been hired for a new job in law enforcement near Louisville, in a smaller city, and Carroll County Sheriff's Office has hired him. They confirmed that, according to the LA Times. His name is Miles Cosgrove. He was fired by Louisville, and now this is what I'm talking about. When we talk about a national database, so that these cop problem officers don't get hired again. But I guess they already knew who he was, so a national database in this case wouldn't have helped. Maybe a decertification that had national implications. In California and many other states, you can be decertified for an unjust shooting or excessive force, meaning you couldn't get hired in another California department, but that's not a national program. So again, this problem continues. Why they would want such an officer, I do not know. Remember Kim Potter, the police officer, the white woman who claimed she mistook her taser for her gun when she fatally shot Dante Wright in Minneapolis in 2021? Well, she got out of prison today after just 16 months in jail. She was sentenced to 2 years, but will only do those 16 months, and she's on supervised release for the rest of that time. They said, this is what the Department of Corrections said, based on intelligence, we released Miss Potter at a time we felt safest for her and everyone at the correctional facility, meaning 4 o'clock in the morning. Protests are planned today in Minnesota to speak out against her release. That Of course, she killed Dante Wright in April of 2021, and already back out on the streets. Maybe she'll go join up with that police department that just hired the killer of one of the killers of Breonna Taylor. We're talking relationships when we come forward. We're talking black marriage. It's a Black Marriage Monday with the Ma'ats on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the since been reinstated. A Republican pro-life